Hey guys, it's Farmer Brad here, and I'm hopping on YouTube to answer any questions and talk about how things are going this week. Let me share this live stream a few different places. Let's see, here we go. So this week I've just been trying to get over sickness. Been really hit hard the last couple of days. Let's see. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat box and I'll get to them as I can. I got one of these lights, LED lights, and I can change the brightness of it. Don't really have very good lighting where I'm sitting in the chat box in the basement. Hi, Low Cash Homestead. Hey, Loma Acres. Thanks for joining. So if you're new to my channel and our family, we live on an 8-acre homestead in East Central Indiana and raise pastured poultry out on grass during the warmer months. And then I'm raising some Katahdin sheep to basically try to get my mowing down to under an hour. Let's see. And then I also make automatic chicken water bucket that helps offset feed costs. And currently we have a ewe that should be lambing. I mean, I really don't know when she's going to lamb. Part of the reason is because we have such a small, getting those chalking harnesses and other stuff. Whether or not it will also be when daylight happens. Okay, looks like we're back homestead. Wondering if you can ride it around like game joust. Based off of what I've seen on White House on the Hill, they have I think 3 emus now. I don't think they would be able to handle it. Yeah, I got an alert saying that I was having internet issues. But yeah, I was checking. I have some wide cams events where so does it as Christmas and a lot of people getting together with family. We're going to be sticking around here, which is actually pretty good because I don't think I'd be able to handle traveling a whole bunch right now. So let's see. As far as doing with chores and there's snow and ice, I do have the guinea fowl on a on the back part of our property, partly so that they get used to being back there and that they get used to being in the sparse woods well, it's not really a woods. It's just more or less a collection of trees, I would call it. But doing that trek has been tiresome, going out there. And then I've been experimenting with a bubbler, but to try to keep the water from freezing. But I don't think I get enough. I don't think I get enough sun back there because it's kind of tucked in to some of the trees. And then I do have a round bale of hay that I kind of have to scrape bunches of clusters of hay. I basically scrape it down, bundle it up, and then put it where it needs to go. And then in the barn, I have my mother of all chicken water running, but there's two sides there's two sides to the corn crib that I've converted into two chicken coops, and one side I don't have tied into that. Basically what I'm thinking of doing, so there's an IBC tote, and then the pipe comes down and goes this way, and then goes out, comes up, and then back into the tank. And then there's a wall here. So what I'm thinking about doing is putting a shutoff valve where I basically shut it off, and then it redirects it this way, goes down, and then ties it into here, and then put another shutoff here. That way, if this is open and then this is closed, then it will direct the water the way it needs to. And then I'd probably have a clean out right here so that I could possibly clean out some of the water in this spot. But we'd have to see. So once I can get that done, then I'm basically set for watering the chickens for the winter. And then my livestock guardian dog and the sheep, they have a heated horse trough that, well, actually the heated element went out of it. So I dropped a heated element into it. So it looks like we have one person from Australia. Good day. So it looks like we have one person from Australia. Good day. Inya Yard Homestead. If you have any questions, any brainstorming you'd like me to do with you to try to problem solve any issues you may have on your farm, feel free to put it in the chat box and I'll take a stab at it. So I posted on the community tab earlier on my YouTube channel a winter hat that I got. And I'm really looking forward to that, keeping my head warm, nice and toasty when doing chores during the wintertime. It comes over the top here, and it has a little strap on the bottom that you can tighten it. But then it also has a part that comes over your nose and mouth, and it snaps. And then it just leaves this part of your face exposed. So the other thing I did want to mention, if you are gathering with some family and friends, I do have a Yule log video that you can stream. You should be able to go to that link there and then that will allow. Okay, I was wrong about that link. It is Yule log. Let me. There, that's the correct link. So you can go to that link and stream the realistic Yule log. Now, what most other Yule log videos omit is they don't have the chopping of the wood. They don't have the building of the fire. They don't have the realistic nature of having to restart the fire and keep on adding the wood. So I made a Yule log video that includes all of those. And then it also has holiday music playing in the background. And there is a Yule log video playlist that has sort of 3 variations of it. One has no holiday music and it's just the fire. There is another one that just has the fire with holiday music. And then there's the realistic one that includes the chopping of the firewood. So I ended up watching the City Steads YouTube video today. He was talking about heat sinks in the high tunnel. And that got me thinking about doing some research. And so I looked around and I found this one guy that was saying that if you take your high temperature in your high tunnel and then you take your low temperature, the best you're ever going to get would be the average as far as for passive heat. So then what happens is when you put water, barrels of water in your high tunnel, then it will take down your high temperature and then it will put out more heat during the night. So let's say typically it's 90 degrees in the high tunnel during winter. Then if you have the water barrels in there, then up to, because all of that energy is going into the barrels. Then when it gets cold, then those barrels are radiating out the heat. And then no-till gardeners, they ended up putting out a video today that was kind of interesting, using compost, a pile of compost and barrels of water to transfer that heat into your high tunnel. Now, the video took place in North Carolina, which I feel like doesn't get that cold. Where I live in East Central Indiana, the temperatures, I'd say during winter, easily get in the teens. And then if we have a cold snap, it can get below 0, even negative some degrees. So I'm starting to see how in colder temperatures, just passive alone, I don't think will be doable. But on no-till gardeners, basically what they did was, here was the north side of the high tunnel, and then they put a line of barrels that were plastic barrels full of water right up next to it. And then they would pile up compost that would be decaying and stuff over the top of those barrels and other things. So basically, what they were saying was those barrels worked as a way of protecting the plastic and other stuff because they were using a tractor to like put it in there and stuff. So that compost, as it's breaking down, is adding a lot of heat, and then it transfers it to the water. And then because it's right up next to that plastic, it transfers it inside the high tunnel. So I thought that that was a interesting concept. Um, and the other thing I saw on another video was that metal barrels are probably more ideal because they absorb and transfer that heat a lot more efficient. So the plastic barrels kind of work as have a slight insulation factor to them. And so I think in order to heat a high tunnel in my climate, I feel like I need to have dual layer plastic, which will increase the R value of the structure itself. Need to incorporate decaying compost because those can generate temperatures of like 130 degrees. So that would be adding heat um, to the system, and then do low row covers to add an additional layer of protection. I feel like that's probably the most affordable way for me to try to grow. I'm not growing anything right now in my high tunnel. I have a chicken tractor greenhouse that I'm um, trying to grow some stuff in the front garden, but my temperature sensors have been saying that it's been getting like 25 degrees in there. I don't know how the stuff is still growing. The only thought I have is that it's still in a relatively infant stage, and so maybe it's not as affected by the cold snap. But I mean, I haven't checked it lately, but we'll have to see how that goes. Trying to see if anyone else will join. Well, I guess I'll call that wraps if no one else joins. Thanks for the ones that have participated, and thanks for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And hope everyone stays safe and has a wonderful holiday season. Christmas and New Year's and Hanukkah and all of those holidays. Till next time. Bye.